Manuela Mianze. I am from the Central African Republic. I moved to Kenya in 2008. The reason why I'm here today is to talk about my niece, yeah, because she was diagnosed with autism when she was 3. Now she's 12 years old. So it's been a long journey. It's been a long battle over the years. And basically, at first we didn't know what autism was. We really had no idea what this thing was. We just noticed that, she grew up as a normal child. She was just fine, really, very bubbly, very lively, a good child, by all means. And then, but at some point when she was around 2, we started noticing she was a bit slow in speech, in walking. Everything was a bit slow about her. And she wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. So one day with my sister, her mom, we went to the hospital, and because she wasn't feeling well, really, so we just went for a routine checkup, and the doctor advised that we should see a specialist because she was noticing some issues with her. So we went to a specialist. So she was diagnosed with autism, and yeah, it was a shock to us because we're like, what is autism? We've never heard about autism before. We come from a country where healthcare is not very advanced. So unless it's just a normal illness, nobody will know what you're suffering from. So it was very difficult because we had to first of all accept the situation, which took a while. I think personally it took me a couple of months to just accept the fact that yes, she's autistic and she's probably not like the other children. For my sister it took a bit longer. There were, between the diagnosis and the acceptance stage, there were a lot of tears, a lot of fears. And of course, in the African setting, the first thing that comes to your mind when you learn that your daughter or your niece or a relative who is a girl has such a condition, the first thing that comes to your mind is like, is she ever gonna get married? Actually, one of the main problems that we had was the fact that she couldn't sleep at night, sometimes for days. She'd spend days without sleeping. And maybe during the day, sleep like for an hour, take a short nap, and then here we go again. So at the time I was in high school, so you can imagine. Well, my sister is tired, she's from school as well, so she's tired, and then here's this child that is keeping the whole house awake, and it wasn't always easy. But one thing that I'm grateful for is how far God has taken us. But to tell you the truth, looking back at our journey, a few things really stood out for us, not necessarily positive things, like issues to do with rejection from schools because they couldn't understand what was going on with her, rejection from other children as well who bullied, laughed at her, rejection from some family members who just decided they didn't want really much to do with us at that point. A lot of things were said, a lot of hurtful things were said. A lot of people, passed judgment, and it wasn't always easy. It was a very difficult moment for all of us, and especially when my sister, after she finished school, when she had to go back home. So she took my niece with her. She took Jade with her, and they went back home, So she was like, okay, I'm done. I can't stay in Kenya. Getting a job in Kenya is difficult, so let me go back home. And so she took my niece, they went home. And of course there it was even worse because we have no centers for autistic children whatsoever. And the schools there all rejected her. Only one school managed to eventually accept her, but after a week, they called her and said, come and take your daughter. We can't deal with her. So we made the decision as a family to bring her back to Kenya. By the time she came back, I was 19. I was 19, and at that point I was finishing my first year in university, And here I am with a gift, really, a very special gift. And I'm told, okay, now you have to woman up and become a mother to a child with special needs. So from that time, I stepped in as the deputy mother. And it's been an amazing journey, to say the least, because looking at her now, you know, people used to tell us, okay, she has this condition, she might never be able to speak, she might never be able to amount to anything, she will, she'll probably continue to be aggressive and all that. But today when I'm looking at this preteen young girl of mine, she is smart, she's intelligent, she does things that blow my own mind away. Like, she can put together a puzzle, I still can't. and I have a university degree and I can't do that. And she's in class 5 now. And she's one of the best students in her class. She started speaking, she can put together a few sentences as well. She's very independent. She can get up in the morning, take her own shower, pick her own clothes, go out, play, come back. She's very disciplined as well. She knows what time she's supposed to go to bed, what time she's supposed to eat. She has her own schedule. And it's such a victory for us as a family, because when I look at her and when I look at how far she has gone and all she has achieved, I can say that it's only been by the grace of God. And I'm really thankful to God for bringing her back, because if it wasn't for her, my relationship with him would have never happened. This is a word of encouragement as well to every person who is out there. You know, the Bible says in the book of James that every good and perfect gift comes from God. And it may not look like it's perfect. It may not look like there's even a reason for it. It may look like you're out there and then everyone else is having a beautiful life and you're struggling with this child and you don't know what to do with this child. You may feel like running away. We all did. We all did at one point or another. But at the end of the day, if you can just trust God and embrace the child that he has given you, embrace the sister, the brother, whoever in your family who is suffering from autism, if you can just embrace that person, the things that God is going to do in your life are just going to blow your mind away. Because the thing with God is that when he shows up in your situation, he doesn't just show up to just show up, he shows up to show off. So at the end of the day, that child, that relative is going to be a testimony.